Hello, thanks for following along in the Deadly Sins series. We have lots of deadly sins in our relationships. I'm Eileen Head, the Relationship Whisperer, and today's topic is going to be, this is just the way I am. Have you ever said that? You hear people say that? Yeah, you hear it all the time. It's a very defensive position because, the truth is we all have a fear of being seen as deficient. Well, the truth is we all have deficiencies, but that doesn't mean we won't be able to overcome them. We are constantly changing and evolving as we go through life. So we're not the same person we were at age 7 when that personality was formed that I explained to you in previous videos, or the person we are now that we were when we were 18 or 30 or 40, depending how I keep going if you're getting near my age. We're continually learning from our life experiences, and we're reacting from the painful parts. Yeah, we don't want to repeat that again. I'm not going to do that again. But sometimes you do these things and they come up and it's so automatic and you react and you go, dang it, I did it again. And it's frustrating because you don't want to be doing this pattern. You recognize it, but you don't understand why it's coming back. So why is that? Because it's an unconscious pattern. And it takes consciousness to bring it to awareness. And then you can change the repetitive behavior by replacing it continually. We've all worked like, having a blowout doesn't always work, or aggressively talking to someone else doesn't get you what you want and often gets you a whole lot of pain to go along with that. Here's a common example. So languaging. There's languaging that is very common out there, and it's can't, should, have to. That's very powerless victim language that you hear a lot of people using. And for myself, because I'm now aware of this languaging, even though I'm really aware of it, now and again it pops out because I hear it all around me. So I don't ever want it to become an unconscious pattern again. So when I can't pops up, I automatically reframe it and re-say it as I will, or I should. I don't like it when people should on me. So I will say, or if I'm saying should, I will say I will, or I choose to, or I choose not to. The same with have to. Have to is a burden. Oh, I have to do that. I have to go get groceries. Oh, wow. I'm happy to be able to go get groceries. I have a choice to do that. I'm able to do that. And just even reframing those words changes the energy for you. So today we're going to go into the 9 different personality types, and I want to remind you that all 9 personality types have 9 levels of growth, from very unaware, undeveloped behavior to more aware, conscious behavior. And that really changes the person you are, and it gives you a vision of the person you can become. When I saw those 9 levels for myself, I recognized many of those patterns. And when I read my profile, some of those stung when I read the challenging parts of me. But they stung because I recognized the truth in them, and those are the patterns that don't work for me. So let's look at the 1 perfecter. The 1 perfecter, they are the personality that has lots of rules, and they can be very judgy, and they can be irritated. And so why is that? Well, their unconscious belief is that they've got to be perfect all the time. They've got to do everything right. They've got to be right. They've got to always be focused continually to be and do right. And inside is a very critical judge that's judging them 24/7. That's a very hard place to be. It's not having compassion for yourself or for others. And when you shift that behavior into becoming more compassionate, more kind, and shutting down that critical voice inside of you, your world shifts. So think of a famous person of Martha Stewart. Way back when she first started her show, she was very judgy and critical, and she wanted everything to be perfect. She wanted it to be a great show, and it's become part of who she is. She's created a great dynasty, it's also held her back in her personal life. So it can be a good thing and it can be a challenging thing at the same time. So attention to detail, look what she creates. Beautiful, beautiful decorating ideas. It can also be challenging in relationships because other people don't want to be judged. And so when you come to awareness of your personality, you can stop those behaviors. Oh, that's coming out as critical to someone else. I'm maybe feeling criticized in myself. I'm going to shift that to be more positive, and you reframe that. And I've seen her on many shows recently, and she doesn't seem like the old Martha Stewart. She's laid back, she seems more easygoing, she's even quite funny at times. And that's what's called the path of development. What's unique about the Enneagram personality model is it has this path of development. It shows you very, very specifically what your patterns are and how you can change them. And that is stepping into a real powerful position. The two supporters. So two supporters are the personalities that are caring and nurturing for other people. They're focused on what the needs of other people, but they can also come across as being needy. They can be intrusive with their helping. They have a need to be needing because that's how they feel loved. And that can show up in relationships. You know, they can always be the givers and not the receivers. And the other people end up feeling the takers. And so with consciousness and awareness, two supporters can change that behavior. I know that because I've changed that for myself. Think of Sue Zorman. She used to be on the Oprah Winfrey Show, and she used to talk a lot about, I want to help you with your financial needs. Becoming aware of your own needs is really stepping into that more powerful position, and you are not rescuing people or enabling people as our personalities can do before growth, before we understand that. So I now help in a very different way. I ask for permission and I just give suggestions. Here's a suggestion for you, and I let go of outcome. The three achiever personality, just the way they are. Well, before growth, before development and awareness, they want everyone to know about their achievements. Look at my new watch. There's my new car. Man, I'm just killing it out there. They have the achiever fever to achieve, and that can impact their relationships. What they're looking for is they want to be admired, but it can be off-putting to other people. So with development, they can be more inclusive to other people. You know, here's part of my team. We succeeded. And three achievers, they can achieve first and then be very, very giving to other people. Think of Oprah Winfrey. She doesn't make any bones about being an achiever in her life. And then with the achievements, look at what she's done with that to help and support and give to other people. The four expressors, so they are the personalities that are very emotionally expressive. They can be very dramatic with their emotions. Their emotions can be very, very intense. And for people in relationships with them, they may not know what to do with those emotions when they come up. The expressor is saying, I'm authentic, I'm sharing my emotions, but it also has an impact on other people. So when you become more conscious and aware, you can claim that sensitivity, you can claim that authenticity, and you can manage the delivery of it so other people around you are more comfortable and will engage with you on that sensitive level that you're looking for and yearning for. Think of Angelina Jolie. Years back, she was in a relationship with Billy Bob Thornton, and they wore vials of blood around their necks. Now that's pretty dramatic. With more growth, you know, the sensitivity can, you know, she's now an ambassador for many third world countries, helping them out and managing her personality more effectively. The five contemplators, they're the intellects, and they can be the introverts. And they are the ones who, you know, they're very, they need the time and space and managing their resources because they believe there's never enough of those, so they can have very strong boundaries. And a partner can feel like they're always banging on their door, hey, let me in, hey, let me in. We're not aware of our patterns. We don't see them until we start doing this inner work growth and working with the Enneagram. And so when they start to realize their patterns, they can catch those, the times where I just need to be by myself, or they can negotiate that with a partner. Like, I do need some time to myself to recharge, and I'll be back in half an hour, and then let's go do something. Think of Bill Gates, a brilliant, brilliant mind. And a lot of times the intellects have these brilliant minds and maybe not as great as social skills until they work on the development. The 6 questioner personalities. So they are the most fear, worry, anxious of the 9 personalities. And they can spiral down into worst case scenarios and be fearful, when really what they're looking for is to gain security and assurance from their partner. But when they start to do the development for themselves, and they start to manage those own patterns and build assurance and security for themselves, then they're a much more trusting partner. And they are very caring, traditional, loyal people. So think of Kelly Ripa and Anderson Cooper. Anderson Cooper, he's a CNN TV. He goes into war zones and whatnot. And this one day, he had his own TV show, and he said, I hate getting my hair cut. And they said, well, why do you hate getting your hair cut? And he said, well, you got to sit in a chair, you got to put your head back, and you never know when someone's going to come at you. A reality in life for him, until he manages and becomes aware of those patterns and works on them. The 7 optimister. They have patterns of being spontaneous and open to possibilities and fun and being unstructured. And being in a relationship with them can sort of feel like you're on the ground trying to hold on to a kite that's all over the place and going all over. So before development, their spontaneity there can be consequences to acting spontaneous all the time without thinking of those consequences. And with development, they can still be that positive, upbeat, fun personality, but with an awareness of the effect on a partner who's always attempting to hold things together. This is what it's about. It's about stepping into that middle space of both of you so that you can develop these strong, conscious, loving, connected relationships. And the 8 assertive personality. They are the strong, say it like it is. They're very willful, they're strong, they're great leaders, they take the world by the horns, and they can have patterns of being very, very direct and crushing other people without intending to. And so people never really get to see the soft heart that they have underneath that, and how they really love the people they're in relationships with, and they're willing to protect them. So with development, they become strong. They can become strong leaders, or they can become strong, not so great leaders, as in my opinion, Donald Trump. Whereas Dr. Phil, the same personality, uses his strong personality on his show to really help many people get their head on straight and think about their patterns, and he helps them to become better people and better to handle their addictions and their relationships. And the last one is the 9 peace seeker. They have personalities of going along to get along. They have difficulty making decisions. They often procrastinate. They don't want to speak up. It causes conflict. They want peace and harmony. And how that affects other people is the not speaking up doesn't create peace and harmony. It creates conflict, because your partner never knows where you're at. And so with more awareness, they can learn the skills to start speaking up and saying, hey, I've gone along with you many, many times, and now this is what I'd like to do, and step into the power of who they are. Think of Jennifer Aniston, she's a sweet, and 9 peace seekers are often very sweet, but they have a very strong backbone if they want to use it. So that's the cool thing about the Enneagram, and why I'm so passionate about it, is it has this path of development. It specifically identifies your patterns. It takes you out of the powerlessness and into the power of becoming who you really can be, the best version of yourself. So tomorrow's deadly sin is going to be passive-aggressive behavior. And if you have any comments or questions, please get in contact with me. If you'd like to learn your own personality quiz, you can go to my website, eileenhead.com. There's under free resources, you can take the quiz. And I have Valentine's specials for you for either couple dynamics or if you're single. And I've also got the online Get Love the Way You Need program. So I look forward to chatting with you tomorrow. Come and join me and learn more about these patterns. Thanks for tuning in.